Hi, I'm Lexi. This is my first video I'm recording for booktube, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but I am doing a haul. So I'm doing a birthday and Christmas haul. Alright, so the first book that I got is a series. Third book's not out yet. I don't know if you can guess. Main character's name is Poppy, so that should be a hint. From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I don't know if you can see it. I'm currently reading A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I'm this far in right here. So I am 159 pages into this book. If you don't know what this book's about, you've been living under a rock. This book follows the main character Poppy and Hawk is her new guard. She is the maiden. She is forbidden from doing a lot of things that the Ascendant do. Ascendant are the people that live in the town. She is not allowed to have friendships, not allowed to talk to anybody, not allowed to show her face. That is one of the big things that is in this book, is that she is not allowed to show her face, only to her personal guard is allowed to see her face on certain occasions, and the Duke and the Duchess. Those are the only three people that can see her face. So I'm not gonna say anything else, but this is a fantasy romance, and it's very popular right now. The third book is coming out April 20th of 2021, so I'm very excited. I'm trying to power through A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which follows Poppy and Hawk as they go along, because the first book leaves you on a real cliffhanger, so we're picking up from where we left off on this one. Alright, that was very long. Next book I got was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Right? Yes. I don't really know much about this book. I kind of bought it because of the hype. I'm gonna read the back, because I didn't even read the back when I ordered it. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous high court of Fairy. Is that how you say it? I don't think that's how you say it. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially Prince Carden, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must define him and face the consequences. It is a series. I don't know if it's romance. I don't know. Lee Bardugo made a little comment saying, "Lush, dangerous, and dark jewel of a book." So Lee Bardugo liked it. Then I should. Okay, next one. The next book I got, it's a classic. It's Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I have yet to read this. I was supposed to read it for Christmas. It's already December 31st. So, nothing I can do. Again, I don't know much about this. I do know it's a Christmassy book. It's a classic. Yeah, that's all I know. Alright, so the next book that I got is Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know how to say it. This book, I know, is a romance. The main character, which is a girl, has a disability. I'm gonna put it that way because I don't want to sound rude. And she hires this man right here to show her a little romance, because she does not have romance. She doesn't know how. So she hires a person to be romancy. Spice it up. Sorry, that was so embarrassing. I'm gonna hate that I did that. But yeah, basically that's what she pays him for. Spice it up, some romance, show her what romance is like. The next book is also romance. As you can see, I was on a little bit of romance hype. That is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This book, again, very hyped, popular romance book, very loved by the booktube community. Second book I don't have, which is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. I will buy that after I finish this one. And then the third book's coming out, I don't know when. I know it's been like pushed back a few times. I don't know why. I don't know what the trope is. I do know Take a Hint, Danny Brown's a fake dating trope. I think it's a bad boy trope. I could totally be wrong, but I do know this guy is a bad boy, so no. Up my alley. The next book is a murder mystery, and this book is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Very well loved book again. a lot of the books that I bought are very well loved. I know this murder mystery follows a character named, what's her name? Stevie Bell. Stevie goes to the academy where there was a murder. No one knows who murdered the person. It's kind of passed as a cold case. No one figures it out. It's just left as a cold case murder. Ellingham is the guy who the cold case is kind of about. It's about his family. Ellingham's wife and daughter were kidnapped. Ellingham was not. So we don't know what happened to him. It doesn't even say what happens. It doesn't say he gets murdered. It just says that his daughter and wife. As you can see, Ellingham Academy, Ellingham, he's the guy who created the academy. Stevie Bell is really into murders. She really likes them. She decides to dive back into that case to discover who murdered the two people. I do know that there is another murder. Alright, so the next two books I have are by Stephen King. I bought them because I really want to read more Stephen King. I only have a few books. I bought The Shining by Stephen King. I do have Dr. Sleep. I have not read The Shining. I bought this a while ago, and I guess I didn't realize that I needed to read The Shining first. So that was why, I don't know why I did that. Jack Torrance's new job at the Overlook Hotel is a perfect chance for a fresh start. As an off-season caretaker at the atmospheric old hotel, he'll have plenty of time to spend reconnecting with his family and working on his writing. But as the harsh winter weather sets in, the idyllic location feels ever more remote and more sinister. And the only one to notice the strange and terrible forces gathering around the Overlook is Danny Torrance, a uniquely gifted 5-year-old. So Danny Torrance is Jack Torrance's son. He's the gifted. They call it The Shining. I don't remember what it's about, like what The Shining is. The last book that I got by Stephen King is The Outsider. I know this show is really good, so if the show's good, I think the book will be better. I do know this is about a doppelganger, if I read it correctly. An 11-year-old boy is found brutally murdered in a local park. Supposedly, the guy that is, like, accused for the murder is, mistaken for somebody else. I don't know who the guy is, but that's what happens. So it's, like, doppelganger, murder case. It sounds so good. The next two books I got are by the same exact author. Both very popular books that I've seen. The first one is Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, again on a romance kick. This one I heard is very cute, very summery, so I will definitely be reading this during the summer when I'm at the beach. My toes in the sand, the waves, ooh, it's a vibe. Anyway, this book is about a wedding, and all the people at the wedding get sick, but the maid of honor and the best man, is that what you call it? I haven't been to a wedding in so long, so I don't remember what it's called. Those two don't get sick, and they both hate each other, so they decide to take the honeymoon that the bride and the groom are going to take. They take it upon themselves, they take the honeymoon, they go, they enjoy themselves, but they have to pretend that they're married for the people there to give them the honeymoon treatment. So they have to pretend that they're married, and Olivia, who's the main character, quite enjoys it. She enjoys faking the whole marriage. Wonder where that goes. The next book that I got is also by Christina Lauren. Like I said, I got two. I already showed you the cover, so I'm just going to keep going with it. I got A Holidaze by Christina Lauren. Very hyped book right now. Very popular for the holiday season. However, it is already New Year's, so Christmas is over. So next Christmas I will be reading this though. Basically, this book's like a Groundhog's Day Christmassy romance. Everyone says it's very cute and lighthearted. I love Christmassy romance, light-hearted stuff. Kind of like a Hallmark movie in a book is the best way I could think of how people are describing it. Basically, she goes to this cabin every single year with her family for Christmas, and this is the very last year she'll be going up to this cabin with her family. So she's on her way back from the cabin. Christmas is over, holiday trip's over, she's coming back home, and she gets in a car accident, and then she's back on the plane where she was on the way to the cabin. And she relives that groundhog event every day. Like, every single time. Go to the cabin, spend the time there, come home, get in a car crash, wake up back on the plane again, go over there, get my gist? Okay. Basically, she does not know how to break free of this groundhog event. She kind of has to figure it out as she goes along with the whole accident happening. So that's basically what this book's about. Okay, so the next book I got has a lot of mixed reviews. So I was kind of scared to buy this because a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it. That book is The Shadows Between Us. Can you see it? You can see it now. The cover? Bitch, it's phenomenal. Yes. This book, I love the cover, first of all. Let me just say, I love the cover. Mostly the reason why I bought it. This book is a fantasy romance, so up my alley. Basically, it is about a character, Alessandra. Basically, her goal is to woo the Shadow King, marry him, and then kill him and take his kingdom for herself. However, they fall in love with each other, but I think she falls for him first, so the whole killing him part, I don't think happens. I don't know. I haven't even read it. It sounds good, so I'm excited. So, next, these two books are by the same exact author. That author is Sarah J. Maas. I have never read a Sarah J. Maas novel, so I'm excited. I got the Assassin's Blade. So these are novellas from the Throne of Glass series. I do know that a lot of people said that if you read this before you even start the series, you kind of understand the world a little bit more. So that's why I bought this. But this book was also published after Throne of Glass, before the second book. So you can read it either order you want, but personally, I will be reading this first before I read Throne of Glass. What is her name again? Ciliana? How do you say her name? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But about her, who is the assassin. Basically, short stories about her. It's taking so long for me to describe that book. I don't understand why. Alright. The next book by Sarah J. Maas, of course, it's Throne of Glass. I had to buy both of those at the same time. Throne of Glass, like I said, the assassin, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I can't really explain that. Basically, I'm gonna read the back for you because I only know snippets of it, so I think it'd be easier if I explain the back. In a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She comes to not kill the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but to win her freedom. If she defeats 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she'll be released from prison to serve as a king's champion. Her name is Celiana Sardothian. I don't know what her first name is. I need to know how to pronounce it. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway land will befriend her. But something evil dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying one by one, don't know how to pronounce her name yet again, fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival, and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys her world. It sounds so good! So, I'm excited to read this. I do know the series just gets bigger and bigger book-wise. The next book that I got also has mixed reviews. A lot of the books that I got have mixed reviews, but it's because they sound appealing to me, so that's why I bought them. That is Serpent Dove. I know a few people liked this. I know a few people that didn't, because I watched videos and like book reviews and all that. I also heard mixed reviews about the next book. I do think this is just a duology, so I think there's only just Serpent Dove, and then Blood and Honey, which is the next book in this duology. Is it a duology? I think it is, because I've only seen 2 books for the series. So, duology, if it's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a duology. Blood and Honey, I heard it's not good either. If I don't like the first book, I'm not even gonna waste my time reading the second book. This book is about a witch and a witch hunter. As you can see, he, which is the witch hunter, she, which is she's a witch, they fall in love. So, it says on the back, bound as one to love, honor, or burn. A witch and a witch hunter, thrust in holy matrimony, there is only one way such a story could end. A stake and a match. The next book I got was a gift from my aunt, and that is One of Us is Lying. I'm excited to read this because I almost did pick it up by myself. But it is a series, so I'm excited. So I'll read it, pay close attention, and you might solve this. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Brownwin, the brain, is Yale-bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is a picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher. And Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High School's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. Before the end of detention, Simon's dead, and according to investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday he died, but on Tuesday he'd planned to post juicy secrets about all 4 of his high school profile classmates, which makes all 4 of them suspects in this murder. Or are they just a perfect pasties or a killer who's still on the loose? Everyone has secrets, right? What really matters is how far you go to protect them. That sounds so good. What? How have I not picked this up? Oh my god. I might have to read this soon. This sounds really good. I love murder mysteries. I love that kind of murder mystery where there's suspects and you kind of get to hear everyone's side of the story and you kind of see whose story just doesn't make sense. Excited! And it's a series. Okay, the next book I got, guess what it is? A romance. You guessed it correct. If you didn't, it's okay. That is Red, White, and Royal Blue. This is also a book that I've been dying to pick up. LGBTQ romance I have not read ever. So I have been trying to be diverse in my romance picks, trying to pick up LGBTQ plus romances because I've never read them. And I don't know much about this book either. All I know is that it's very hyped. So if other people like it, I should like it. So basically I think this is like, you know, a forbidden romance, which those stories are so good. It's about a guy who has the mother of the United States as his mom, and Henry, who is, I don't know what Henry is. I think Henry is a prince. So, but they're not meant to be seen with each other. They're not meant to have a relation with each other because they're rivals. They end up falling in love, and it's their story of how they're not meant to be together, but they want to be together. Sounds so good. So I'm excited to read this. The next book I got is also, not a book I've seen talked about a lot, but I have seen it on a few people's channels. Noelle Gallagher put this as her top book of 2020, because I will support her till I die. Anyway, that book is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is a Greek mythology book. I think this is also an LGBTQ plus book, so I'm excited for that. I don't know if I even said, but Red, White, and Royal Blue is a male-male romance. This is also male-male romance. I don't know what this book is about besides it's Greek mythology and it's a male-male romance. Yeah, I'm not even gonna like go into detail. I'm just gonna let you know that the cover is amazing. If you want to look more into the synopsis, you can always go look it up. The next book I got, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This cover I actually really like. I'm not even gonna lie. Again, a lot of controversy around this book as well. I personally love Twilight. I'm a twihard, so I obviously bought this. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a gift. But obviously I had to get this, so. This is just Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn all in one, but Edward's point of view. And I heard it is better than all of them, but you get a lot of more details, but you also get some, like, stupid shit. Like, I heard that, like, people that, like, recently read the Twilight series, it's like reading Twilight all over again. It's like you get, like, snippets of, like, the same exact context that you got in Twilight and, like, New Moon and, like, all that in Midnight Sun. Whatever. It's okay. I personally adore the series, so I can't wait to pick this up. The next book I got is actually my first manga, DeathNote Volume. It says Volume 1, but it has volumes like 1 and 2 together. Basically, this is about a character, I forgot his name, I think his name's Light, finds a notebook on the floor, picks it up, and it turns out it's a book that a Shinigami death god dropped. You write a person's name in the book. It kind of goes into more detail when you read this, like, about, like, the whole, like, writing the name, dying process. So the next book I got, also a very hyped book, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Evelyn Hugo had 7 husbands, and everybody wants to know who those 7 husbands were, what happened to all those 7 husbands, and why she had them. Her Hollywood career starts dying because she's getting older, and you know, I guess Hollywood has an age limit. She decides to go to magazine reporter, tells her story. Tells her, I want you to be my writer. I'm going to tell you why I had 7 husbands, who they were, and you know, I want you to publish it for me. Because that's what she wants to do. So I think it sounds so cool. The next 2 books that I got are by the same author. I also got these books from Book of the Month, but I have not been using them recently because I don't have money to pay for the membership. So the first book I got is The 2 Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. This book is about our main character, Lydia, and her husband or fiance, Freddie. Well, Freddie was her soulmate, they were in love, and they were gonna get married. On her 28th birthday, he dies in a car accident. That is so incredibly sad. Oh my god. Basically, it's about Lydia going through grief from losing her love of her life in a car accident, trying to figure out what she's gonna do now. Basically finding her way through life without her spouse, her love of her life, her best friend, her rock, you know, all that jazz. I guess it's about her finding love as well, just to see from a point of view of like what it's like to lose a soulmate. So if you've lost one, or if not even just like lost someone as death-wise, but lost them from breaking up, you know, you can see what people go through. So I think this is a nice story I'm gonna like. The next book I got from Josie Silver is One Day in December. Basically, this book is about Lori. Lori is on a bus, and at the bus stop, she sees this guy, and she immediately knows that's the one. Basically, love at first sight trope here in this book. Years later, at a New Year's Eve party, which Lori is going over with a friend, or hanging out with a friend on New Year's Eve, spending time with them, her friend introduces the guy that Lori made eye contact with as her boyfriend. So now Lori is looking at this guy saying, wow, so the guy I thought was going to be the one is now dating my friend. So basically it follows that kind of story, that kind of trope. It's really cool. I actually kind of like the concept here and the whole like love at first sight trope. So I'm really excited to read this. I will definitely be reading this next Christmas, if not New Year's Eve. The next 2 books I got are by the same exact author, and they're in the same exact series. So that is... Also, a lot of people don't like this series, so please don't come at my neck for this. I read After We Fell already, so right as I bought it, I picked it up. After We Fell by Anna Todd. 800 plus pages of Hardin and Tessa. Not complaining. And then I bought After Ever Happy because I'm almost done the series, I'm gonna cry. It's a comfort series to me. I can relate, so that's why I like to read it. Also, it's just, if you don't know what this is about, it's about 2 characters, Hardin and Tessa. It is also kind of like a forbidden love. He has some issues that really affects Tessa. Tessa also has some mommy issues and daddy issues, so she's got both. That kind of affect the relationship as well. The next book I got, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Romance-y type of book. Love to hate romance. I'm very excited about that. I'm definitely reading this in 2021, so a lot of reading plans I got planned. The last book, Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I did not look at the... Oh. My god. I did not look at the book without the dust jacket. That is beautiful. Cemetery Boys, LGBTQ plus romance, male to male. Basically, our main character here, his name, Yadril. He decides to summon a ghost from a family, but summons the wrong ghost and summons a bad boy from high school that was murdered. This one, and he wants to figure out who murdered him, connect the loose ties before he leaves. But Yadril does not want him to leave because he starts falling for him. I think that's so cool. I don't know why. I think that, like, a person falling in love with a ghost is cool. So, I'm excited to read this. I heard this is really cute and, like, really, like, wholesome, so I'm really excited. Okay, so, I have 2 more books left. First one that I have left is A Little Life by Honeymooners. I hope I said that correct. Not good at pronouncing names, I butcher everything. This book I heard is very, very, very sad. You have to read this in the right mental state because I know it messes you up. Basically, it follows 4 college students. They're all classmates, so they all know each other. Basically, they move to New York to seek better things. And their whole friendship is held by a character named Jude, who has suffered a horrible childhood trauma. Basically, ever since his horrible childhood, he kind of has, like, PTSD, so anything he does can trigger his childhood trauma that he suffered. So, this book is very sad. It follows all 4 of them, so you kind of get everyone's point of view. I do know that in this book, you kind of get a chapter full of Jude, so you can see, like, Jude from when he was born all the way to where he is now, and you kind of can see, like, why he is the way he is, and why everyone is the way that they are in this book, so I think it's really interesting. I kind of am, like, sad, but excited. Like, I'm scared to read this, but I'm excited to read this because a lot of people like it, but it's also very depressing. And the very last book in this whole entire haul is Crave by Tracy Wolff. Crush did not get the best reviews. This is a vampire book. I love the pages. Can you see the detailing? Cute! Basically, it's kind of like Twilight. The vampire guy has a soft spot for a human who's in the academy, and he only has a soft spot for her, and doesn't like anybody but her. His name is Jackson, and the girl's name doesn't even tell us. That's so weird. I don't even know what the main character's name is, besides Jackson, who's the guy. Anyways, that is my entire book haul. That was my birthday and Christmas combined. I hope you enjoyed. This is my first video on my channel that's going up, and I'm so nervous to post, but so excited at the same time because I'm really excited to start this journey. Thank you for joining and watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you like what you just saw, subscribe, hit the like button, and yeah.